Someone once said that our Lord has written the promise of resurrection not only in books, but in every leaf in the springtime. This time of year, we look at the world around us, a world that just a few months ago looked dead and barren. And even a few weeks ago, we experienced a major blizzard here in the Northeast. But as we look around today, we see new life beginning to spring up all around us. And so the church, looking at the world around us, also presents to us the beauty of this time of year in terms of the church's prayer and her liturgy. And so as we approach this Holy Week coming up very soon, we have some wonderful celebrations here in St. Paul Church that I wanted to tell you about and invite you to. My name is Father John Gabriel, the pastor of St. Paul Church here in Ramsey. And in the name of our parish staff, I'd like to invite you to consider coming and being part of some really wonderful celebrations that will take place during these beautiful days of prayer. Holy Thursday, April 13th, will be the day that we begin what's called the Sacred Triduum, 3 special days, the holiest days of the year, when all of the mysteries that make us God's people will be celebrated, not as events in the past, but as realities in the present that have the potentiality to change our lives and our destiny forever. On Holy Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m., we'll celebrate the evening Mass of the Lord's Supper. We'll remember that night before Jesus died, when he brought his apostles together. And at the Last Supper, he not only washed their feet, giving them the mandate to be of service to the world, but he also instituted the sacrament of the Eucharist, in which every time we celebrate Mass, the Lord is present. So at 7:30 p.m. on Holy Thursday evening, we invite you to come and to pray with us in this beautiful Mass when we'll wash the feet of 12 people, and also we'll celebrate the sacrament of the Eucharist. And then processing around this church, we will bring Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament to the repository, a special place set up in the church where we can spend time in quiet prayer outside of the sanctuary. But the sanctuary of the church itself will be stripped bare as a sign of the church entering into this period of mourning, a time when we're waiting with Christ as he goes to the cross. During Holy Thursday, while people can pray at the repository, we'll have an open house in our rectory. We're asking our parishioners who can bake breads that are from their cultures or family traditions and are willing to bring those and share them with all of us. So it's my hope that people will be able to go back and forth between the rectory, where they can rest and have something to eat, and then come back here in church to pray together before our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament at the repository. Then at 11:30 on Holy Thursday night, we'll pray night prayer together. On Good Friday, we'll come together as a community of faith at 3 p.m., the hour that the Gospels tell us Christ died, and we'll celebrate the veneration of the cross and Holy Communion. It's the only day all year long that the Church does not permit the celebration of Mass, but we will come together to pray and to listen to the story once again of all that Jesus did when he went to the cross for the salvation of the world. And then we will receive communion together and have the opportunity to venerate the wood of the cross. On Good Friday evening at 7:30, we're doing something different this year. We invite you to come and reflect with us on the 7 last words of Christ. During this celebration, we'll alternate between music and reflections on those last words that Christ spoke during his time on the cross. The next day, Saturday, Holy Saturday, in the evening, we'll celebrate the Easter Vigil. This is simply the most important celebration in the entire church year. We'll gather together on the plaza in front of the church at 8:30 because we need to begin after sunset with the blessing of the new fire. And then carrying our Paschal candle into a dark church, we'll sing that Christ is indeed the light of the world. Then we'll go on to listen to readings from the Holy Scriptures that will tell us about the history of salvation. And then we'll celebrate a beautiful Easter Mass. So we invite you to come and to be with us during these 3 wonderful days. These 3 celebrations of Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday really make one liturgy, one symphony. They're like 3 movements of the same symphony. We invite you to come if you've never experienced these celebrations that are a little different than what we do the rest of the year, to consider trying to keep your schedule clear and come to celebrate with us. Of course, on Easter Sunday morning, we'll have our regular schedule of Masses. At 7:30 a.m. and 9 a.m., we'll have a special Mass for children, followed by an Easter egg hunt on the front lawn of the rectory with a special guest. And then we'll have celebrate Easter Mass at 10:30 a.m. and 12 noon. In addition to these major celebrations, we'll gather every morning on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. for morning prayer. Mass is not permitted to be celebrated those mornings, but we'll still come together in church to pray. And on Holy Saturday morning at morning prayer, we're going to begin a custom that's very familiar to our Polish brothers and sisters, the blessing of Easter food. So we invite you to come and bring with you at morning prayer at 9 o'clock on Holy Saturday whatever food you might be using for your Easter dinner, whether it's a ham or a lamb or your eggs or cheese, your butter, and we'll bless the foods of that first Easter meal according to the custom of our Polish friends. So there's a lot going on here at St. Paul Church. The temptation will be to make Holy Week just a regular week, business as usual. But we invite you to do your best to come, to pray, and to come and celebrate here in St. Paul Church the beauty of these days. We remember then that Easter is a 50-day season. So beyond Easter Sunday, we'll continue to celebrate the fact that Christ died and rose from the dead to change our lives forever. Please take a look at our bulletin, go to our parish website, or give us a call in the parish office. We'll be happy to answer any questions for you. But we look forward to seeing you. We want to welcome you here at St. Paul Church for these beautiful, beautiful days, these days that change our lives both now and forever. God bless.